And this is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI. We're at the Direct Marketing Club of New York event in Midtown Manhattan. I have a chance to talk with Chris Dessi from Silverback Social, actually based in White Plains, not far from us. Chris, you really had everybody engaged listening to your presentation about how much has changed in communications, how much companies like Facebook and LinkedIn and Google have changed the world, how it's changed how we do. Why has this happened so quickly, would you say?
Well, gosh, it's the power of technology, right? And I believe it's also the philosophy of open source technology. It's the idea that it's not just coming from one organization. It's the idea that developers are now allowed to contribute together in a decentralized manner to make sure that the software is created faster and that information is disseminated faster.
Right, and you talked a lot about, I loved your quote about that we're all drinking from the fire hose of data. There's so much, and you had a comment about, I think it was 45% of the world's population will have an access to a smartphone by next year. Why has this taken off so quickly? I know the folks at Facebook are working at trying to increase distribution of access to the internet worldwide.
Well, the reason why it's become mobile, I would sort of envision it as like a wave, okay? So now the wave of technology that we've all experienced in the United States, in the late 90s, we had the dot-com boom. Then in the mid-2000s, we had social media come in. And then social media really came into its own around 2008, 2009, 2010. But we had access because we're a wealthy country to, a mainframe hard drive computer that evolved into a laptop computer that eventually evolved into a smartphone. What these third world nations have experienced is they've been so much poorer than us in those past 10, 15 years, but the production has become cheaper for smartphones that they've leapfrogged. They went from absolutely nothing to now having a smartphone, and that's a seismic shift in global communication, and this is why mobile has become so paramount for every organization if they consider themselves a global organization.
And Chris, you had some nice comments for the audience about how their companies can use social media, use Facebook, use LinkedIn, use Twitter. Some haven't started at all. Some are just kind of getting their feet wet. What are some of the priorities for businesses in trying to gain some advantage from social media?
Gosh, the priorities are to first and foremost to be there. Register. It's very easy to register. It's very easy to start to engage as a corporation. Have somebody internally within the organization that's minding the farm, that's not just an intern. I think the days of having your 18-year-old niece or nephew manage your Facebook page or Twitter account are gone. This needs to be a communication device for your organization that, frankly, at times can become even more powerful than PR or your marketing machine. So it is something that should be addressed from every organization, mom and pop organizations all the way up to enterprise organizations.
And you've got a big conference coming up in May in Rye at the Hilton there, May 13th to the 14th, the Westchester Digital Summit. Tell us about that.
Well, it's actually in line with what I just discussed. It's because I would speak to business owners in Westchester, and frankly, I was a little surprised that they weren't aware of this digital revolution that was happening. And I tried to educate them, and I would have little breakout sessions, and I realized that I, on my own, couldn't do it. It needed to be bigger, and I couldn't educate everybody about social media. So we've been very lucky. We're in our third year. We sold out last year. We're going to make it into a 2-day event this year. We have speakers from Pinterest, from Twitter, from Facebook, from the New York Times, from Mashable, from GE, IBM, MasterCard, the list goes on. These are the heavy hitters that will be able to talk about from enterprise level all the way down to mom and pops, how to leverage technology in order to generate revenue for your organization.
Okay, and Chris Dessi, tell us a little bit about your company, Silverback Social. You're in downtown White Plains, right by the Starbucks and the big water fountain. I know it well, know the area. Tell us a little bit about your company.
Yeah, so we're a digital marketing agency that specializes in social media. And what that means is we do everything from training executives and writing social media policy and compliance content to community managing, creating unique custom social media content, becoming a brand within social media, copywriting for blogs, all the way up to what we refer to as growth hacking, where we engage social media celebrities to create unique content on behalf of some of the bigger brand partners that we work with. So we work with everyone from Legendary Pictures movie studios, all the way to Blue Rock Energy, which is an energy company that's based in Syracuse, New York. There's no specific vertical that we work with, but it all has to do with digital marketing and deep dive in social.
And Chris Dessi from Silverback Social in downtown White Plains, New York. Thank you for joining us and speaking to the Direct Marketing Club of New York.
Thanks so much for having me.
This is Ken Kraetzer for CBSI in Midtown Manhattan.